Kudos to Nike, I say. Nike is such a global brand. When you're watching documentaries of some remote island in the Pacific Ocean that has never seen like modernization, you'll see a kid running around with like a Nike shirt on.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding you. So that's the reach of Nike as a global brand. And I think it says a lot for Nike to also not only give him a paycheck, hope he's making a lot of money off of this.
And it's not just a paycheck. He's being paid, despite not being in the league, as the highest paying athletes in the NFL are for contracts. So he's being treated like not just a guy, the guy for Nike in this promotion.
And I think with Nike being behind so many, I mean, it's all about sports, right? I don't think they can remain silent on the topic.
No, absolutely not.
This is a huge move for Nike. I just encourage anyone who has ever felt offended by his move to kneel, by Kaepernick's move to kneel, to just really take a step back and try to remember the real reason why he's kneeling. I think we've echoed that here several times at the Jam. Remember that he's trying to send a message that it's not okay for people of color to be dying in the streets. So if you've ever been offended, I just hope that people take a second and remember that and understand where this is going, because I just automatically think of Muhammad Ali, and now he is being praised when he was at a time going against our country. He was being un-American by what they say dodging the draft, by choosing not to serve in the war. He was called un-American too, just like Colin Kaepernick was called un-American. So make sure you're on the right side of history with this one.
Yeah, Colin Kaepernick they're talking about Nike aligning itself with Kaepernick and how they're going to lose so much money on this. I think it's calculated risk for Nike, actually. I think Nike's understanding who is in support, who is their consumer. I think it's actually going to make their brand more popular, actually. And if you look at it, you know, the people setting trends in art, in clothing, and music, they're people of color. And so the people of color are naturally in support of this movement because it benefits them. He's become that voice for people of color and for people, period, who feel like they're being oppressed and want to stand up for something that they believe in. Nike aligning themselves like this. People are acting like this is groundbreaking stuff, but Nike's done this before. Michael Jordan in the early 80s, he was the first real black athlete for a shoe brand or any corporation to stand behind and say, we want this guy to market us. That's a black athlete, a black man that they bet on. And Nike, again, here in 2018, doing the same thing. I think it's great.
You think Nike will be hurt by this move?
I do not. I think they're only going to benefit from it. Going back to that calculated risk idea, they're smart people. They know what they're doing.
I totally agree. You two brought it. A-game. A-game today.
Definitely a little handsy. I guess, should he have issued an apology? I mean, I think it's nice. It's hard to really say whether or not this was on purpose, but I think as a woman, we all immediately go back to that time when someone also got a little too friendly and a little too handsy with us. And it has happened in church. I have been in a few churches and had it happen. And it's just an uncomfortable moment.
As a very handsy person, I am a very handsy person. I'm touchy-feely. I like to give people hugs. But you do have to be careful. And the thing that bothered me about the video in this, of course, they did freeze that meme where she's like looking at him like this. I'm sure you guys saw it go viral. But the thing that's interesting is that you saw him grab her, and then you could see him go, oh, goodness, like he got a little too close to the, you know, breast area. And then you could see him lower his hand. But what he should have done is just sort of like taken his hand away. Because when you realize you're hugging somebody and you're like, oh, my hand is in the wrong place, you immediately move your hand.
Yeah, I just thought it was a bad look for the bishop altogether. I mean, let's not forget also the comment he made about, I thought Ariana Grande was something you ordered at Taco Bell. Now, she is Italian-American. I'm sure he didn't even know that. But yet still, that was a comment that was just not wrong place, wrong time. It's always wrong.
Yes, a lot of controversy around the funeral because they were also, the family complained about the minister that gave the eulogy as well, that he made it all about himself and about his political stances.
Very political
versus
instead
actually
of remembering Aretha Franklin.
When do people need to realize at a funeral, at weddings, it's not about you as the person that's leading
as somebody who's recently engaged, I'm quickly learning it's not about me. Going back to it, I'm with you on the fact that I'm also a handsy person, but being a handsy person, I still recognize target areas that you just stay away from. If you want to touch somebody on the hand while they're talking, also get a feel for who it is. Like, I know you guys. I know you're not going to be offended if I do this.
Not at all.
But I know if I put my hands in certain areas, no matter how well you know somebody, that's a bad look.
Plus, you got to worry about your height, how tall you are versus how short the person is.
I've got my built-in excuse right here next to me. But no, in all seriousness, I do think it was a bad look for the bishop. I think it was smart for him to apologize because I think Ariana and I think the people watching were owed that. And I had to watch this thing several times over to come to that conclusion.
Why is it only $11,000?
Yes!
Your 128th birthday.
$128,000.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's how much it should be.
But here's the thing. When I first saw you had to name the full name, I was like, nobody's going to go for that full name. But if it's just Harlan, that's a usable name. I think so many people would do it if you put that price tag on.
Well, it's cute. For a girl, Harlan, you can make it shorter, make it Harley, maybe.
Oh,
that would be adorable.
Well,
right?
I mean, we got a kid named Apple, so Harlan is not a bad name.
Or you just go with like Harlan and then you just call them their middle name for the rest of their life. There's so many loopholes in this one.
Yes.
I'd be shocked if KFC actually honors the 11,000 because I think you're going to have a ton of people who say, yeah, sure.
No,
I just think I do think 11,000 is too much. It should have been at least 50K
Not enough
to name
for
your
me.
kid.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's not enough.
I mean, because by the time, if you have the baby now, and then by the time it's ready to go to college, college is only going to cost a cool $500,000. So
I know.
mean,
50,000 will get you.
Please don't
one year
remind me.
college.
All right, I'm not ready to have these conversations this early in the morning.
State school is going to be so
It's
expensive.
getting out of hand.
Is it a bad look, though, for KFC to try and, it is kind of creepy to infuse your product through a marketing campaign into a child's name that they're going to live with for the rest of their life?
No, it's smart because we're talking about it.
And that's what
and I'm
everybody's
actually
saying.
craving fried chicken, but of course I want Popeyes right now.
Yeah.
I mean, actually I want
Yes,
Harold's.
hey.
But Harold's is really good.
There we
Chicago
go.
right there.
We go.
I
Gotta
love
go
it.
the right Harold's, the right number.
Harold's, where are you going to give us? Tell me what to name our children for 11,000. I'll do it. Just give me free Harold's. I'll name my kid whatever you want me to.